Abby Tedros here at the WBTV News Now desk on this Friday. And right now we are tracking the very latest overnight developments as we enter day 2 of that Russian invasion into Ukraine. This morning, we know that the death toll stands at more than 130, and there are countless others who are injured in connection with this invasion. We also know that the impacts are widespread. We are seeing the impacts here in the Carolinas and across the country, with the price of oil being up immediately after those attacks, and you're feeling it at the pump. So I want to check in with our Liliana Pearson, who has been following this story for us throughout the week. Liliana, I understand that you were there earlier this week at a gas station in Fort Mill. Prices are looking a little different this morning.
They really are. So I was here on Tuesday at the same exact intersection checking out prices. On that morning, gas was coming in at $3.37. So I want to show you what we're looking at now. First, I'm going to have photojournalist Zach Weilich zoom in across the street for you here, where hopefully we can see past some of those cars that are lining up. We can see across the street 1 gallon of regular gas coming in at $3.49. And a reminder, on Tuesday, it was at $3.37. But here's the real shocker. Come right across the street over to the Circle K, and you're going to see it's more than 20 cents that it has jumped in just the last couple days. 1 gallon of regular gas coming in at $3.59. And I know some of our crews who were out covering this story last night in Charlotte ran into one gas station where they say it was $3.69. So huge jumps at the pump this morning. And of course, this is really going to be felt in people's wallets. I know that I reported earlier on Tuesday when I was here first checking those gas prices, that if you're commuting from somewhere like Fort Mill, where I am this morning, into the Charlotte metro area, you could be paying $25 to $50 more a week just to be commuting into the city. I know my photojournalist and I were talking this morning, kind of comparing how often we have to fill up. He says he has to fill up once a week. So people that are doing that are really going to be feeling it with these really high prices. And I know that we talked to somebody over at Gas Buddy, one of their analysts. They say they're expecting to see gas jump around 15 cents more.
You also talked with not only Zach, I know that you guys were talking about those gas prices, but also people who are filling up in the Carolinas. So I want to pull up part of that interview, and then we'll get back to you in just a second, Liliana.
Very high.
Very high?
Outrageous. It's ridiculous how they're doing us out here with this gas.
I'm all for it. Raise them up. Higher the better. I think ultimately it's going to be better for society, right? It hurts now. But, I think the more the prices go up, the more people will think about EVs, the more they think about public transportation, the more they'll think about, not just driving everywhere.
So we just heard from 2 people, one person who had the more common response saying, okay, these gas prices are painful, need it to go down. However, the second person, definitely an outlier, saying that in the long run, these gas prices will help us. What are you hearing from the experts, Liliana?
So we did talk to an analyst over at Gas Buddy, like I just mentioned. He says that he's expecting to see gas prices go up 5 to 15 cents more. We've also talked to analysts over at AAA just a couple of weeks ago when gas was considerably lower, even just a few weeks ago. The big question that people calling into AAA have is this gas going to get up to $4 a gallon? Of course, they're keeping their fingers crossed that it's not. It's really hard to predict how high it's going to go because we weren't exactly sure if an invasion was going to happen in Ukraine at that point. Now that it has, it's really just a waiting game to see how high it gets. But I think you were right. It was kind of interesting to hear those 2 local perspectives from those drivers with that more common response. Somebody saying this really hurts, and the other person saying, let's just get this done and over with. Hike it up. Let us just pay it, and then hopefully this will go away soon.
Yeah, and so right now we are taking a look at the gas stations behind me. I want to ask about, so some of those figures you shared really stood out a lot higher than what we would normally see. Are you seeing people still filling up? There was one gas station that was about $3.50 a gallon, and that's about 10 cents more than
so
at the other gas stations at that same intersection.
Yeah, so the one that's just behind me is right now coming in at $3.49. The one that's almost 20 or more than 20 cents higher than it was on Tuesday, coming in at $3.59. You know, I'm assuming that people are going to try to hit some of the gas stations in the area that are 10 cents cheaper. I know I certainly would, but that doesn't mean that there aren't people at the pumps at the one that's more expensive. Take a look. We can see two people there right now coming in. And again, this is the gas station that is coming in at $3.59, where earlier this week it was at $3.37. So more than 20 cents more expensive. And we've seen people coming in and out of these pumps all morning. The pumps that are 10 cents cheaper coming in at $3.49 a gallon. Lots of people there too. You know, life doesn't stop. You still have to drop the kids off at school. You still have to commute to get to work. And so people have to fill up their gas wherever they're going. So like I said, I would try to get the cheaper gas, but you can kind of have to get what you get, especially if you're running low. I know we do have a helpful tool for people. If people go to our mobile app or WBTV.com and they click on the traffic tab, we actually have an interactive map where people can find the gas stations around them. They're able to see what the prices are so they can kind of compare. And if you get that pulled up before you head out of the door this morning, you might be able to find some cheaper gas near you.
Yeah, Liliana, I'm pulling it up right now on our website, and you can see the different price options. You have those price points significantly less than where you're at right now. $2.96. This is in Monroe, updated at 7:30 last night. And then you can see Sam's Club coming in at $3.14, which is about the average. You can see some $3.15s in the Charlotte area. But yeah, where you're standing right now, significantly more expensive.
It is, and I think something worth pointing out too is that some of these stations around me, they flash what their standard price is. So for the one that is behind me across the street, it will say that it's $3.49, but people that have some sort of membership card or rewards card, they are going to be a few cents cheaper, in some cases 10 cents cheaper at the pump. So it might be worth, if you are a loyalty member to a certain type of gas station, to maybe go out of your way for that just to save those few cents. Like I said, just in this area on Tuesday, $3.37. This morning coming in at $3.49, in one case $3.59.
All right, Liliana Pearson out in Fort Mill for us, tracking those gas prices and the far-reaching impacts of that Ukraine-Russia crisis. Liliana, thanks for joining me at the News Now desk and for watching that aspect of the story. I know you will stay on top of it for us. In the meantime, while we are here, still want to direct your attention to our gas tracker on the WBTV website. You can also access this on the news app as well. You could see February 23rd, 7:30 p.m. was the last update on that Monroe gas station, Pilot gas station, $2.96 a gallon. We also know as early as last night, Sam's Club offering gas at $3.14 a gallon. So you can get all those details. We also have this map allowing you to access that information and get those details as well. So that is what we know at this hour. I will stay on top of it at the News Now desk, and then coming up at 8:05, Alicia Wilson will be joining me to talk about the current conditions out on the roadways and also that fog we are dealing with this morning. Take a look at this Charlotte skyline shot. It's normally a shot of the skyline, but right now all you can see is gray because we're dealing with fog that is blocking that HD tower camera that usually shows the uptown Charlotte skyline. So Alicia Wilson will join me at the desk, walking us through when that fog will lift and what it's looking like this weekend. So it's mostly cloudy for your Saturday and then Sunday, dealing with a lot of rain, but sunshine in the week ahead. So she'll join me at 8:05, and then we'll have a check of headlines coming up. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, the stream is about to end, but our coverage will continue on the WBTV News app.